What is up, my friends, and welcome to another video. Today, we are going to be testing to see if Blizzard has made a big mistake with the recent patch. Now, let me guys tell you the story about it real quick for the ones that haven't followed the patch evolution. So first of all, they announced an enormous patch. I want to say this is about 2 weeks ago or so, where they were going to change Protoss completely. Warp gates were going to be less used, and gateways were actually going to be, you know, at least that was the intention, the main form of production for Protoss. They also changed the worker count from 12 to 8. For Terran, they were messing around with the Ghost a lot, and Zerg really just got like generally small buffs. So we looked at the patch, we tested it out for a week or two, and I think the consensus was pretty much that Protoss was definitely way too weak on that patch. Zerg looked a little bit stronger than Terran, but yeah, there wasn't that much testing, of course, in just 2 weeks, so it also could have been 50-50 or so with Terran. But then they announced the second version of the patch. And in the second version, first of all, they made a good change by making the Warp Gate stuff a little bit better for Protoss. They put Warp Gate research back on the Cybernetics core instead of the Gateway, so that was nice. But then, even though Zerg was already looking strong, they gave Zerg 3 buffs. After that, for 2 days, Zerg absolutely dominated tournaments. There were 2 tournaments to be exact, and they were completely dominant by Zergs, including really, really big underdog Zergs, beating the number 1 and 2 Protoss player in the world easily. So that was a pretty big concern. And then Blizzard decided it was the perfect time to press go live, and the patch was published just like that, without extensive testing. They did make a little bit of an emergency hotfix to Zerg, so I think the Zerg buffs got not reverted, but toned down a little bit. But it is actually okay. This build works weirdly. I have to do this with 1 gas, I guess. Huh? Yeah, I do think I have to do this with 1 gas. So now, anyway, the patch got released, and it is easily the most controversial patch of the decade. No one knows if this game is going to be completely messed up or not. I've seen tournament organizers talk about making their own mod, kind of boycotting the patch and stuff. We'll see. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys 1 game of each race, trying to showcase the changes. With Protoss, I just want to see how bad the builders really feel and stuff. This, so far, has nothing to do with the Warp Gate change, of course. It's really just the 8 worker start that I'm not used to. I didn't know when to make my gas and stuff like that, so it's not entirely natural for me, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys 1 game with each race, test the changes, see if Zerg didn't indeed become so OP that even I can win with it, and if Protoss is as bad as people say. That's really what I want to be testing here today. Yeah, most importantly, has Blizzard made a terrible mistake or not? It's very possible they have. It's also possible that it's completely overblown, because that does tend to happen. So we'll see. Okay, my mind will remain open, and we shall see. I want to sneak this probe in. Yeah, biggest change, by the way, for Protoss is that before this research for Warp Gate, it was on the gateway. So you would have to incapacitate your production facility for eons just to get that out, which was kind of insane. Okay. And now you can just make it on the cyber core, and that really changes pretty much everything about, yeah, this new Warp Gate change. So that is fantastic. Didn't actually put... I did put my camera hotkey somewhat. They also put all the new maps, by the way, but I don't know any of them yet. Double chrono on that. Okay, that is... I wonder what that is about. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to make a battery over here just because I'm scared. So anyway, Protoss has been changed in a very interesting way, actually. Because a lot of people stuck to the idea that Protoss is now just straight up nerfed, right? Because Warp Gates are not as good. But I don't actually 100% agree, because basically the way it works now is the moment Warp Gate finishes, first of all, gateways are going to start producing 40% faster. 40%. So building from gateways themselves is very, very powerful. Then you do have to pay 25-25 to transform each gateway into a warp gate. So that sounds like a nerf. But now you can warp in everywhere fast. So let's try that right away. Before, you needed a warp gate or a nexus connected to the pylon to do a fast warp in, otherwise it would be slow. Now you pay 25-25 for each warp gate, but you can warp in fast everywhere. Every pylon on the map, you can do that. Now, this guy is clearly going for some kind of cheese, so that is not looking extremely pleasant for me, I'll be honest. Let's see if my fast warp in is going to be able to save me here. Actually, maybe... I want to build that pylon a little bit close. I'm going to go up the ramp, I think. Or is he not cheesing me? Oh, no, he is. Okay, I was starting to get a little bit confused here. Okay, so he is going to be able to deal with that. This does indeed look like a big cheese, but I'm not quite sure which one it is going to be. Where do I want to stand? That is a really good question. Maybe I can kill that battery, actually. Oh, it's actually straight up 4-gate. That's a bit of a mistake from my opponent, actually. I don't think that is the best build to choose here. Obviously, could still totally work, but not an enormous fan of this build that he's doing. Okay, here we go. Probes are... Oh, that's a 6 surround, though. Look at that surround. Woo! Not bad, guys. Beautiful. Okay. Now, yeah, I mean, it's going to buy me a lot of time. Actually, a couple of these probes can stay over here. 4-gate straight up. Huh. I'm not entirely sure why. Like I said, I'm not a fan. The reason why I'm not a fan is because you can stop that by just building sentries. So I'm kind of just wondering what the idea behind... Like, I thought it was going to be a robo. I thought we were screwed because it would be a robo. Immortal Prism, I'm going to get out microed for the rest of my life, and that would be it. You know, that's what I was expecting. But instead, it's just a 4-gate, seems like, so then I can just warp a lot of sentries. You have to be careful, because you could also still make a robo on the follow-up, of course. Let's see, what should I do against that? I could shade out my adepts to scout, actually. It's going to be nice. There we go. Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Micro this guy out of the way. And that's 4 stalkers down. I shaded those. Oh, wait. I can put more force fields. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. And another one. Yes, sir. Oh, my God. This is carnage. Absolute carnage. This is beautiful, guys. Look at that. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I've not played this much Protoss since I put my graphics on high. But the force fields are pretty crazy. Like, I feel like the effects and stuff are so light. Move the sentry back so it doesn't die. There we go. Good micro all around. There's going to be 2 more units dying. Probably should have chrono boosted my gateways a little more, and I was actually moving forward, but that is a mistake, to be honest, because I can drop another force field the moment I need to with that new sentry. There we go. GG is called. And okay, this was actually a very interesting game, but maybe for a different reason than you guys thought it was interesting. It really looks like... Hold on a second, guys. Could this patch actually fix PvP? Please don't draw conclusions from me, because I could be completely wrong about this. But this cheese felt like, could I have done anything worse on the defense? No tech, no batteries, no sentries, Nexus, pylon here, warp 2 adepts across, and I still survived. I feel like this cheese hits a little bit too late, honestly. I don't know if you can actually still kind of do these cheeses. I mean, it's not good that you can't attack, but I don't really think it's the case. He just seemed a little bit weaker. Like, even at this point, he still only has 3 gates. He couldn't even afford the 4th one, huh? PvP has struggled a lot, by the way, historically from 1-base cheeses and stuff, so this actually seems pretty nice. And so far, I mean, the build felt completely fine to me. It's a little bit hard to tell from a PvP, but from what I could see, the build felt perfectly fine. I had to pay 50-50, which is very affordable early on. And I could warp in fast everywhere. So, yeah, maybe Protoss players are overreacting. Maybe we'll find something out later. For now, let's play a game with Zerg. Okay, so the second game is going to be with Zerg against a Protoss. Very excited about new maps, by the way. Sometimes it takes me a bit too long to get used to them because I don't have a regular pro gaming practice schedule anymore. But it's just fun to get new maps. It just adds a little bit of flavor. I think it's fantastic. In fact, it might be a good time to at some point do like they used to do this, like a dream map pool again, where they just pick like the best map of like the last 7 map pools or whatever. That could be pretty cool. Now, Zerg, the reason why Zerg was buffed hard is not because one thing in particular got a massive buff, but they really just received like 6 mini buffs or something. Now, I have to say, between version number 1 and version number 3, they changed a bunch of things, so I could be wrong about what it's like right now. I think it looks like they reverted the queen price. So they put the queen price back to 150 without changing the hatchery, but now it's back at 175. So I think the changes that are still remaining is the Overlord is faster, and most importantly, this is actually the biggest buff for the economy, is that larva spawns a lot faster. So you just straight up have more stuff. Like I think it used to be... Oh no, I couldn't actually make that. That's unfortunate. Okay, we'll go for this one then. I thought I actually got enough minerals there at the end. Maybe I pressed it a little bit too slow. That's possible. Let's go for this one. There's no big deal. That's actually an interesting thing, by the way, because this is, I'm pretty sure, the fastest possible hatchery, and you could still block it. So that's something to keep in mind. That could be a little annoying for Zerg players on the ladder. By the way, this is a completely standard situation that has pretty much always been the case. But I kind of thought with this fast of a hatchery, I would not be able to get blocked, but... if they want to do this, you're going to have to take your hatch at the 3rd base every single game. But this was already kind of normal. I just think it's a little bit annoying for worse Zerg players, which I include me in, to deal with. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe the map is just small rush distance. I'm not quite sure. But Zerg, they changed the price of the queen. to be 25 minerals cheaper. They got faster larva. They got faster overlord speed. Microbial Shroud got massively buffed. I think the Mutalisk got like a mini buff. They increased the arc slop, but people were making fun of it, and I don't even really know what it means. So I think it's like the area that it can shoot without turning. I think that's the way it was explained to me. I'm not quite sure, but it could be that. But yeah, Zerg received 5, 6, 7 mini buffs, and that's why Zerg now is looking powerful. But let's see if it's powerful enough to make me happy about playing it as well. Because normally when I play Zerg, I play like an absolute baboon, and if I don't, it goes quite wrong for me. So now so far, I mean, it feels pretty nice. I feel like the Protoss player, with the money that they have, they can't really threaten you. Now, this time I went for Nexus first, so that's going to be kind of hard to see. But I still feel like this... I do have a lot of larva. I can actually feel it, by the way. There is indeed a lot of larva. So you probably have to make... You might have to delay your gas, because otherwise you might not be able to spend all your money. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Should I go for a third hatch? No, I'm going to go for my double queen. I mean, honestly, it does feel pretty nasty what I have. Like, my guy's playing Nexus first, and I'm way up in drones compared to this guy. Like, you see how many drones I have? Okay, I could be wrong, but I can kind of feel it a bit already, you know? Like, this is pretty sick. Stargate's going down now. He made 1 Zealot. That's just to be safe, because he played Nexus first, of course. Stargate is going to come up way after I'm saturated. I'm going to play double queen as well. I think I'm just going to go for my 2-base lair build. This might not be the best build to test these changes with, but I just want to see how it feels, you know? I just want to see how it feels. I can actually... You can tell that I can't really keep up with the overlords. Like, I'm not used to having this... It's just a little bit more, but I'm not used to having this much supply. It's great. Well, unless you play against Zerg, I guess. Start spreading a little bit of creep as well, because I'm an absolute gangster, and that's what I do now. 1 drone here. Okay. Oh, he's actually going to go for this. I'm not sure I recommend this move, honestly, but... Evo. Another Evo. Oh, barely missed that one. That would have been juicy. Gonna lose another drone if I'm bad. Actually. Oh, okay, I'm bad. If I killed it, I wouldn't have been bad, but I didn't kill it, so I'm bad. That's the deal. Actually, I can use that spore, so I'm not even going to cancel it. It's quite nice. Okay, lair is on the way, so I think we're gonna go for Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber. Was that how we usually did it? Roach Warren plus Evolution Chamber? I think so. Fleet Beacon. Oh, never mind. We are gonna go for... wait, did he actually not build anything from that? I think he might have not built anything from that. I think we're gonna cancel this, go for Link Speed, and then we're just gonna make a Spire. And make a bunch of Corruptors. That's the play. He could be going for Tempest. It's insane that he's just letting my Overlord be there, by the way. Like, this Overlord you can't do anything against. I hate playing against those Overlords, by the way. It's one of the worst feelings to just be spied on all the time. Can't do anything about it. So for this, I would have made legit, like, at least a Phoenix, just so I wouldn't have been tortured all the time. Oh yeah, there's also the creep. I should probably do that, huh? I don't know if I have the mental power to spread creep. Maybe I just kind of want to... Oh, it's carriers too. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the gases over here. Spire, make 1,000,000 drones. Probably go for... You know what? I'm going to go for 2 extra spores at the front, just in case. Just in case. That's it. Yeah, he's going to take a 3rd base now. I already got my 3rd base on the way. So this, what he is doing right now, this is like the #1 playstyle that I hope is deleted from the game. Because it's very boring to play against, like the Skytol stuff. And more than boring, I think it's really, really, really hard for new players. Or not even new. Like, legit, I think if you're, like, below Grandmaster, that it's just insane to play against, right? It's super, super hard. So, for the sake of you guys, I hope that I can crush this like an ant right now and convince you that it's not that good. That's the plan. Now, I really can feel the difference already. I honestly just feel quite rich. I really do feel quite rich. He is researching +1 attack here as well. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make 1 wave of links. Usually the way you want to play against this is to play Link style, because Links are fast, so you can kind of just dodge the carriers and whatever, and then you can make the actual counter beside it. If you make Roaches, it's kind of expensive for playing against this. I think we're going to go for armor. Actually, we're going to go for armor. Now, I have to make a choice to make 1 more wave of drones. I think we're going to make 1 more wave of drones, actually. Okay, oh, that was a little bit of a scary wave of drones to make, I'll be honest. Let's get my queens together. I need all my girlies over here. Here we go. You come back as well. And then... That's actually very nice spores to have. These spores are going to be fantastic. Surround the adepts if I can. And now we're going to make a wave. Yeah, look at this. Okay, that one has a transfuse, so we don't want to lose that right away. So we spent our money. Oh, I was about to transfuse. I actually messed up there a little bit. That's my bad. We spent our money on some extra drones. So we have 60 right now, which is really, really nice. And now the Corruptors are already on the way. He shouldn't really be able to kill anything here, to be honest. Like, this is pretty chill for me. Corruptors are going to finish any second as well. Let me rally on top of that. As you can see, the Interceptors are already dead, by the way. Like, they're pretty much gone. He's going to lose these Adepts now. At this point, this is not the best trade ever. He probably recalled those. Yeah, he did. Okay. Oh, he didn't recall that one, though. I think we can probably kill that. But first, I'm actually going to make more drones. Because I think we're going to have time here. So this carrier should probably die. He does have +1 attack, and I don't have an upgrade yet. But keep in mind, the others were recalled. So now he's going to lose this one. There we go. Spread creep in the meantime. I do have my hotkeys for it. Let's try to remember that as well in the meantime. Gonna go for a forward hatch over here. It feels good, guys. It feels good. I'm enjoying this right now as a Zerg player. This feels nice. I have a lot of money. I can deal with the stuff I'm playing against. Gateway being built. Okay, Void Rays are being built as well. I'm actually gonna go for double Evo here, so I can make Ling upgrades. Looks like he's not gonna commit to the carriers too hard. Does he have batteries here yet? He does have a couple, or at least one. I think we can just dive this, actually. Let's do that. Before the Void Rays show up. I don't think I want to fight through the Void Rays, so let's get with those. Okay, then we're going to make a couple more links. What I can do here, actually, is I could make Mutas, which I know sounds insane, but it's actually not bad. Yeah, this map is pretty annoying for Creepspad, actually, by the way, because the freaking, what do you call it, light of sight blockers in the middle. Actually, a bit of a menace for me right now. Probably get some creep on this left side here as well. There you go. What could I make first? I think we'll make a couple more Corruptors. Because he was still building Void Rays. And then after those Corruptors, we're going to go for mass links. And I think that should do the trick, to be honest. I think that should do the trick. Now, what I'm going to do is exactly this. You go in between the lines. And you just target the... Actually, I could do this too. You go in between the lines and you just snipe the units that he's building. He's warping Stalkers now. No upgrades on those yet. This is a risky choice by me. I am going to kill it. But we are going to lose some Corruptors for it, right? So this is a decision that you can question for sure. I'm actually going to get +2 armor, because it does seem like he is still building gate stuff. It's kind of hard to say how much he is going to make of that, but he is still building some, so let's keep that in mind. I can probably do a little run-by with these links. Did I get 1-1? I did get 1-1. And now we just play Link Corruptor. Our eco is good enough. You can add some couple spores here, actually. If he's attacking us, spores are not a bad idea. +2 attack on the Void Rays is scary, I'll be honest. +2 attack on the Void Rays is scary, so what we're gonna do is just add a couple more spores, I think. Can add a couple spores over here, maybe 2 spores here as well. You don't need too much. I just want like a little bit of company for my Corruptors, basically. That's the idea. Oh yeah, we actually got it. Yeah, we did. That's sick. There we go. This is more annoying than anything else, but well, how are you guys stuck? It's more annoying than anything else, but still. You can't do any damage. Yeah, he came back. That's nice. He came back for it. Okay. Best choice now, just so you guys know, would definitely be to make Infestors. But I'm trying to keep this simple because I also want this to help you guys. So I'm just going to make more Spores and Corruptors and Links and just keep kind of running around. Let's see if he has another base somewhere. He is trying to take another base. Oh, he's here, actually. Okay. So now let's move back in here with the Corruptors. +2 armor is about to finish. I think at this point we can probably just make an Infestation Pit if we have to. Wait, why is my... Okay, my hotkey wasn't working for a second. Well, I was most likely just pressing the wrong key. Not to mislead you guys. But, yeah. If we have to, we can go for that. I would rather win without it, to be honest. Templar Archives now. Okay, Templar Archives is not really something that we want to see. But we can manage. I think for the Templar Archives, you probably just want to go for a Hive, actually. I think you probably want to go for a Hive. Oh, his army still here. Oh, that's actually crazy by him. These Corruptors are going to kill every single base. They're not going to die to the Stalkers, by the way. Not at all. Now, if you want to keep it simple, what you could do right now is you can actually make some Spines as well. Because Spines are going to be decent against Archons, okay? So that's going to keep it nice and simple. Let's go in here again. Let's see, probably just click all the links in there. Why not, right? I still have some sprays left. Not too many, but I still have some. We hold position the links in the mineral line. So they are going to be killing the probes, as you can see. There we go. Make more Corruptors in the meantime. The Nexus has fallen. Now, what you can do is you can kind of fight... Oh, that's a bad rally. You can kind of fight against the units. The air units, that is. Until they activate the prismatic alignment. Exactly, you see it. You can see the thick beams and the... what do you call it? The loading bar or whatever. On the Void Rays. And then you just back off. And then you can fly around to the other base. And this way you can really just have fun and keep going around. Now I'm going to make a hive here, just in case we need to go for some ultras. I did build some infestors just now because he didn't go for like a desperate attack. So it's going to be good against the Void Rays. We don't want to lose against a bunch of Void Rays, right? That would be annoying. There we go. These links are doing a fantastic job. Can also actually distract these Stalkers for a little bit. That's a nice idea. Now keep in mind, he did use Prismatic Alignment earlier. If he doesn't pop it, it's only on one Void Ray. Then you can fight. Then we can probably target one carry here and then dip. That's a good plan. There you go. You could tell it wasn't like the best fight ever, so you don't want to stick around too much if you don't have to. Let's add a couple more spores over here. Okay. Financially, it really feels good, by the way, just say. Financially, it feels amazing what I have. It's great. This is why the spines are really good, by the way, because spines are going to deal with the Archons. Like, the Archons would be annoying, but now they're actually pretty fine. Looks like he wants to attack from this angle. The Fungals are going to be super, super nice here, by the way. Super, super nice. Let me just do this. Maybe force some beams. Let's see, is he going to do the beams right? Actually, he barely has Void Rays, honestly. He really barely has Void Rays. Here, let's go kill them all. There you go. As you can see, the links have been really good. I should have had one more fungal there. That's my mistake. Now, what you can do is you split up the Corruptors a little bit against the Archons, and that is going to be GG. There you go. Well, he hasn't typed GG yet, but it is. Okay, just to not confuse you guys are not missing anything on the screen. He hasn't typed it yet, but that is officially the game ender over there. Now, a couple things I could have done better here is just take a couple hatcheries. Actually, a really big tip that I want to give Zerg players is if you're... Hey, I lost my hotkey for the cube tumors for some reason. I probably hotkeyed something over it by accident. If you're getting attacked, pushed in any way, what a really nice thing to do is to build a hatch on both sides. If you're not sure where they're going to attack, there you go. No GG is called, but obviously we know it was a GG. But to finish the point, let's say they're pushing to the middle. You don't know yet what base they're going to target. This map is a little awkward for it, actually. But what you could do is you take, for example, this base and this one. Other maps are going to be nicer for that. You can do the same with the fourth base, by the way. You just take one on each side. You can afford it as Zerg, usually. And whichever one they attack, you can try to defend it. If you notice it's a bad attack, you just cancel it and you saturate the other base instead. That would have been a very nice way to go about this. When he attacked here, I should have taken these instantly, but I just wanted to make sure to own him cleanly, and that was about it. Now, I just want to say, I am not a great Zerg player. Obviously, I'm decent. I am still a pretty decent Grandmaster Zerg, of course, but theoretically and stuff, I'm not that good with Zerg, but I can tell that you really just have a lot of larva. Like, it feels very powerful. This is a build that I recommend. It's very safe. You go for the extractor trick. You get 2 queens out per base. Keeps you relatively safe against Adepts, Oracles, and stuff. There are probably better builds to do, but man, you have a lot of money. And I have to admit, Zerg does look pretty powerful here, but it's just one game. Now let's go to the Terran game. Okay, game number 3 is going to be with Terran against most likely the same Protoss. For Terran, sadly, not that much changed in the end. It's really mostly just the general builds and stuff like that. First, they super buffed the Ghost, then they reverted about half of the buffs while keeping the nerfs. So it could even be a Ghost nerf in the end. I'm honestly not quite sure. The thing is, guys, I mostly use Ghost to cheese people. I don't use Ghost what they're intended for, so I can't really tell you guys until I play a bunch of games. I think the Ghost is pretty strong against Protoss, but yeah, it still might be an overall nerf or a slight buff, but it's pretty much the same. They added a little bit of quality of life to the medevacs I saw, where it's easier to load units into them or something like that. Like, they added a command to the card, which I don't even remember what it does, but I saw some people talk about it. It's probably not something I'm going to use too much. So for me, it's mostly the builders that have changed. And I'm going to be trying to abuse those as good as possible. As well as possible, I should say. Here I actually made a mistake already, yeah. A very important thing that I want to tell you guys, by the way, for Terran builds, is if you want to go for a Reaper, you have to skip an SCV for a bit. Because since your eco is small now, you can't do, like, the barracks and gas right after, like you would be able to do before. So what kind of happens is that your gas ends up delayed by a couple seconds, and then you only have 30 gas when your barracks finishes. So you have to skip an SCV to go for a Reaper opening, else it just sucks. Or you could play Marine into Reaper, but it's like a mind game build you can do. It's honestly not that bad, but it's also... Like, most of the time you want your scouting. Like, here, look at this. I skipped the SCV, and I'm still missing a little bit of gas. So, ideally, you get it as early as possible. I think I could have gotten it just a little bit faster with this build. Now, a couple builds that I would totally recommend, I wanted to do it this game, but I forgot actually, is that you just go for... Oh, okay, that's unfortunate for him. This is one of the strongest builds of the new patch, by the way, the instant proxy gate. So let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's pretend we didn't see it. Just because I'm curious. Okay, I'm just curious how strong it is. Let's pretend we didn't see it. Okay, now he thinks I'm dumb as hell. There we go. That's gonna die. Now our SCV is gonna see that something is very, very suspicious over here because there's no base, of course. I think I would maybe still send the Reaper across the map. Oh, it's actually a double gate. Okay, that's a slightly different build than I was expecting. Okay, so the Reaper is gonna go across the map. SCV stays here. I'm gonna cancel that one SCV to make a depot. Otherwise, I'm gonna get viciously supply blocked, and we shall see. So yeah, I was gonna say a build that I would recommend is actually skipping a bunch of SCVs and going for like 11 barracks, 11 gas instead of 13, which is standard. Because then your Reaper just arrives so disgustingly fast. It's actually quite nice. Okay, so now I see the Stalker, so then I'm gonna cancel that. And I'm very curious. Let's see. I really thought this build was gonna be Omega strong. He's gonna lose a probe. No, oh, that would have been nice. Sadly not. There you go. But maybe this would be like what a normal game looks like. You're not supposed to see it, right? So this is what it would look like. You make your CC, you cancel it, and that's pretty much it. I can also block his base if I want to. Chrono boosting warp gate. Okay, that's a little bit suspicious here, to say the least. All right. Should I block this? Oh, I would love to. Let's just do it. Since he's making warp gate, I'll go for the block. Is there a gold base on this map? Doesn't look like it. I'm going to check the corners anyway. Now, since this guy is still chilling on one base, what I'm going to do is actually make a second bunker as well. Maybe I'll make a bunker over here. Yeah. Oh, that is... You don't want to... No, okay. I was going to say, I hope for him he doesn't go for that. Now he sees that he's blocked and he's going to be upsetty spaghetti about it. Maybe I can block him. If the Reaper was still here, I would have been able to double block him as well, which would have been nasty. I'm not going to get the double block here. Okay, so he is expanding after all. I'm going to make a reactor here now. And then we'll see. I still feel like this is pretty much the completely normal situation after a proxy gate. Let's see how strong the build is. That's what I'm curious about. Now, I think I'm going to go for some kind of timing here. Let's go for 2 racks. We'll delay the orbital by a bit. We'll just use the timer flying it over to the natural. And let's see how hard this timing hits. This is really going to be the hardest part of getting used to 8 worker start. It just completely changes which builds are good and which builds aren't. Like, you remember the build from game number 1, the Protoss hit? It just hit way too late because the economy doesn't start fast enough. Now, this build he did is not super committed, but it's kind of committed. The build I was talking about that would be really strong was actually like just 1 proxy gate. I thought that's what it was, like just 1. He actually proxied 2, which is crazy. And he built 1 at home as well. This could be painful. That's why I kept the bunker alive on the high ground, like you never know, right? So this is also a very committed attack. Based on what I know now, that it's 3 gate, I would think that his build is actually slightly worse in this patch. If it was just the 2 gates that I saw initially, I wouldn't be sure. If it was 1 gate, I know it would be strong, but now it's 3. I have to imagine that it's a little bit weaker. Notice how hard it is for me to afford my stuff, by the way. Oh, I can tell what he's going for. This is going to be charge, probably. Charge plus 1 armor, something like that. Okay. What would be the smart thing to do? That's a good question. It's not my forte to do the smart thing. I think probably just sit back and chill, for the most part. Oh, this is annoying. Look at this. Can I get that? The grenade! Hell yeah. That's so beautiful that this is such a random situation and I found that. That's great. Let's see. I'm just gonna lose another one. That's a crazy thing to build a pylon there, my guy. I mean, it's for vision, but why would you lose the probe for that? I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna make a smart adaptation here, and I'm gonna just fly this away, get a starport. If you go for mass tanks, I'm really convinced that this is charge slot. If you go for mass tanks, it's actually not as good against Zealot stuff. So you kind of want to just take it a little bit more chill, get your Widow Mines out, and then go for an attack. You don't want to attack too early. I was going to hit a big timing, and I changed my mind immediately once I saw the fast forge here. Now, I don't want to drop another mule right away, because he could be going for DTs, right? So I'll wait for a turret first. I would like to go... Oh, I didn't make the starport. I would like to go for... Actually, it doesn't matter, because I can make two Widow Mines before switching it over. It's actually decent. Saved by accident. Love to see it, guys. What was I gonna say? I wanted to play 3CC because I don't want to move out. I picked it away from the starport again. Not quite sure what I did there. Now we have the mule, so we can drop those. I would love to send out 2 Marines to check. I don't think he's gonna let me, though. His units are probably just in front of my base. Let's see if that's actually true. He could also be trying to trap me, you know? Like kind of baiting, like waiting here for some reason. Or not for some reason. Well, actually very close. Okay, I'm not a hacker, guys, I promise. Waiting there to bait me to move out, letting me think it was safe. And then swarming my army, basically. That's what I thought the idea was there. Okay, this is going to be a very sad attack for him. Retarget on the Widow Mines. It is beautiful. That's how you do it, guys. You retarget those Widow Mines forever. And by the time his army meets mine, it'll be gone. So I don't think he wants to keep continuing with this. I don't want to make... Oh, no, that's not the right one. I do that quite often. Slightly annoying when I do that, actually. Okay, there we go. Let's get a depot over here so we're not going to be supply blocked. We're really trying to survive right now rather than just get into a good position in the macro game, so we can just do it this way. Got a couple more mines. Let's get concussive shells as well. Third gas would be nice. Now, these SCVs are killable. Keep that in mind. These SCVs are quite killable. I see 3 low HP ones already. So that's obviously not nice. I think a third CC will be in order. Actually, honestly, I'm about to change my mind, but I'm not going to do it because I want to show you guys the proper way. But I think I could also just play 5 barracks and just kill the guy with the attack because of the drop. Something very, very important to keep in mind here, guys, is that if you play a regular game against Protoss, they virtually always have blink as soon as possible. If they play something else, DTs or charge, I guess or glaives, but that doesn't really happen very much. So mostly charge or DTs. They don't actually have blink fast. And they most of the time don't want to get it fast because they're going to try to get something out that can stop your attack, such as Colossus or Storm or Archons, right? So dropping becomes really, really good. So for that reason, you can go for 5 racks and just drop him, basically. But now I'm going to do it this way. We're going to go for a drop here, which he probably should be building. Oh, it's already finished, actually. Yeah, okay. So we go for a drop here, and then we move out at the front at the same time. And then, oh, that's actually a nice timing there. What you want to be afraid of is to just not get caught being, I was going to say unsieged, but mostly unburrowed, actually. You see, he doesn't have blink, so that means he's just going to be completely cooked here, because I can do this. Here we go. He's not going to have units over here, so this base is going to get fried. I'm going to converge with both my armies on this location, and his army is not together at all. So this is going to be very sad for him. I can burrow the mines next to the siege tanks, put the marines behind the tanks, target the sentries and stalkers, and this will be a no GG in 7 seconds, 9:46. See if I can kill the stalker. Still going to lose the tank in time, unfortunately. 9:46? Oh, I was waiting for it. I was 2 seconds off, guys. How could I? There you go. All right, beautiful. Now, before you guys leave, I'm actually going to play another Protoss game because I just want to test another matchup. But thinking about this one, I feel like my read was pretty much correct on this. This is just a little bit too expensive right now. If you do cheeses, guys, they have to be low eco, fast cheeses. So 1 barracks Reaper, 2 barracks Marine, 1 gateway proxy for Zerg 8 pool, maybe some kind of proxy hatch and cannon rush. They're more in the questionable department, but cannon rush was better than I thought it would be when I tested it, so that could work. But when you do this, I mean, just look at what he can afford, right? Like there's just no money to build stuff. Like he can never expand. He can't make units. He has to choose between getting any kind of follow-up or making units against this bunker right now. If he makes an expansion, which is what he went for, there's just no units, there's no tech. My CC is almost done, and I already have a factory. So if this was just 1 gate, it would have probably been in the questionable part, where it could be good, could be bad. But he went for the 3 gate, and that one's a little bit too expensive. My build actually felt fine, I have to say. Like I mentioned, I on purpose built this CC over here, pretending I didn't see it, right? Just so I could feel what it felt like normally. But this honestly didn't feel too bad at all. Like, we're 18 SCVs against 19, CC is down, factory is down. So this felt pretty good. I would still recommend that you try out those like 11 barracks, 11 gas instead of going 13, just so your Reaper is really, really fast. It's probably better against Zerg, to be honest. But I think against Protoss you can try it as well. Anyway, let's go to Protoss game number 2. Okay, Protoss game number 2 is also against Mr. Barcode here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting tired of me a little bit, but that's okay. My first build was absolutely terrible, so let's see if I can make it look a little better. Also, I hope this guy doesn't cheese me this time. Based on how he played against both Zerg and Protoss, he's not going to have anything pleasant for me. But that's okay. I really just want to see how it feels. I mean, we already tested something very important in the first game with Protoss, which is just it still feels good to just defend early game and get warp gate early. What I kind of want to test is if you play like a macro game, if then you still manage to like get your warp gate and stuff out. Maybe in particular against Zerg, because Zerg is powerful, right? Against Terran, I feel like it should be fine, but I could be wrong. I mean, particularly early game could be a little scary, I suppose, but if you go late game against Terran and you get pylons all around the map with fast warp-ins, I think Protoss is really going to be chilling, but early game is going to be... actually, mid game as well. I would say like the first 7:30. I know that sounds very specific, but I think the first 7:30 are going to be the most interesting to see, because that's about the range of Terran pushes, right? 7:30 would be, for example, you play a normal opening as Terran. Actually, that might be delayed a little bit now because the 8 worker start. 7:30 is the number I'm thinking of for the previous patch, so I could be wrong there, okay? But that's basically the timing. Let's say it's 8:30 now, whatever. That's basically the timing where Terran does a normal build, they harass, they expand, and then they hit you with the, you know, infamous Stim, Medevac, Combat Shield, Tank attack. That would be about 7:30 last patch, maybe 8:30 this patch or so. So that's going to be the most important time. That's what we're going to have to see if Protoss can survive those comfortably. Against Terran, it's going to be very interesting to see in the new patch. But after that, I could be wrong, of course, but I'm sure that Protoss is fine. After that, I mean, if you just get your fast warp-ins on pylons with Zealots, I think it might actually be a nightmare for Terran to play against. Like, fast warp-ins everywhere, whew, that's gonna go really, really hard. One prism in the main, pylons on every single side, no matter where you fight, fast warp-ins, that is brutal. That doesn't actually block anything, so that is an interesting pylon. Okay. I almost feel like he did me a favor, actually. It felt like my probe was mining more efficiently, to be honest. He's gonna try to do it again. This guy. He's absolutely clowning right now. Gonna go for 1 gate as well. I'm gonna go for a 1 gate expand, because I feel like, yeah, since the cheese, they just don't really seem to hit very hard. I think maybe 1 gate expand is gonna be better in PvP. Which I think is a nice thing. It kind of depends on what 1 gate expand. Because there's one thing about 1 gate expands where it always ends up being Phoenix against Phoenix. That stuff kind of sucks. But if it's just like... Let's think about a Reaper expand as Terran. Let's say you just kind of Reaper expand against each other in PvP, if that makes sense. I think that actually sounds quite nice. We can pile over here for vision. Let's see if I can find anything. Oh, it looks like he's going to expand. That's nice. Actually, a little bit of nice intel there. What should I do? Chrono boost the warp gate, maybe? Yeah, let's do that. So ideally, what I would love to have, would love to experiment with, would love to make happen, is gateway production. Because, you know, the warp-ins, in my opinion, they look totally fine, okay? Once again, early mid-game PvT, we're gonna have to see. But to me, they look perfectly fine. But now, you get the 40% faster production from the gateways, and I think maybe I can get away just playing 2-gate. That's a cool idea, right? Like, you can basically skip a gateway. As long as you're defending your natural. So let's say you're defending your 3rd base, then you kind of want warp gate anyway, because your units are going to have to walk from here to defend stuff. But my gateways are basically here. I feel like this is a pretty nice moment to just... Does actually... I don't think it changes, right? No, it doesn't actually change when the unit is already building. That's interesting, actually. So you might have to, like, time it a little bit better. I'm gonna do the same scout as him. There you go. Let's get that out. Yeah, they built so fast. Stalker Sentry is 20. It was 23 seconds, and now it's 14. After Warpgate finished, it went from 23 seconds to 14. That's crazy, actually. Yeah, they built so fast. Oh, that's a real Phoenix. Oh, I thought it was fake. Oh, it's my bad. I just assumed it was fake. Oh, that's on me. That's funny, actually. Wow, okay. I was like, oh, you have to do this Phoenix back. What a loser. But no, it was a real one. I feel like we should be able to do pretty well against this. Let's see if that's true, of course. Gateway production, so we can... Like, these Stalkers are... They're building too fast. Like, look at my money. I can't keep up with the Stalker production. They're legit building too fast. That's crazy. Oh, I like this. This is cool stuff. I want to experiment with this a little more. I might make an extra episode on this, just playing... I don't know if you guys remember. I used to have a show, No Warp Gate to Grandmaster. All of a sudden, that might now be a real strategy. I would love to see that. Well, you would still upgrade Warp Gate, just not make Warp Gates. Right? I think that counts. Yeah, these Stalkers are building hella fast. It's crazy. Just use the Chrono Boost to Chrono Boost my probes. He's probably not expecting me to have a bunch of Stalkers over here, so he's gonna lose at least one. I'm actually surprised he went for a probe there. Gonna take more damage. Yeah, like it... My mineral line is already saturated. Yeah, I legit can barely keep up. This is... I like this. This is nice. Okay. Obviously, we don't know yet how it's gonna work out in like super high-level games and stuff, but so far it feels pretty nice. So Mr. Guy is going for what is called Protoss Mech, which is very basically not making gateway units and just making like the high-value stuff, right? Robo and Stargate things. Now I have Blink. Am I dumb enough to attack into his Immortal? I mean, the answer is definitely yes. Okay, he's actually... Oh, you don't really want to do that, I think. Good micro, though, by him. That was not bad. Okay. Let's see if there's a third base out here. At some point, I'm going to have to make, like, detection or extra... Actually, I'll make a Robo right now. Yeah. I mean, the Stalker production really is crazy. It feels like I have so many. Right? I didn't need the third gateway at all during this time. If you're planning on being on the defensive, I think this is really nice. If you're going to attack, I think you need Warp Gate 100%. No doubt about it, okay? You need to make them Warp Gates 100%. But now I'm kind of just chilling. I feel like this is really, really nice. Let's see what he has. Okay. He's going to try again. I mean, if I can get some extra damage on those, I'll be happy. Okay, so now is a good time for me to stop building probes. I've made a couple too many, actually. Probably should have stopped a little earlier, let's say 44 or so. Just so I can actually make my gateways. Now, at this point, I think it would be nice for me to... Oh, he's actually going to go for it. I don't mind that. Oh, he's going to go for a Glaives all in. Okay, I see. Yeah, let's make Warp Gates now. And I can make an Immortal as well, actually. Well, I'm not really sure if that's a good idea. The Immortal is questionable. Okay, I think I can actually keep those probes there. I know it sounds a little silly, but... I would love the Prism, by the way. If I get the Prism, that'll make me very happy. Prism would be nice. I have a Force Field here, by the way. That one is a preliminary Force Field, so I can do that. Exactly, look, it's beautiful. Glaive Adepts don't want to fight against Stalkers. He wants to fight with the Immortals, but he's fighting... Look at... Oh, that's actually such a nice Force Field. Well, if I had Vision, I would have gone for the Prism, for sure. Okay. I do not have gas right now. That's a bit of a problem, actually. I do not have gas. I do have an Immortal. Okay, so basically what you want to do here is you just want to blink on the Prism and kill it. That is very basically how this works. Oh, I have another one. A couple more buildings over there. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. A little bit of micro will go a long way here, though. There you go. Okay, I see the Prism, which means that Prism is now dead, which means the Immortals are going to die as well. After this Immortal, I'm going to back off for a little bit. There you go. Recharge that, and then we can go in again. The thing is, the Adepts, they do a lot of damage to light targets, but not to armored stuff. So you can just kind of get in here. The Adepts are not going to be good enough on their own, and this should be a no GG once again. Okay. Yeah. What I felt here is that the early game, when I was just producing from gates, was really, really nice. But the transition to more gates was awkward. Did you guys feel that as well? That's what it felt like. Like, I was producing very, very nicely from 2 gates, but kind of in a moment where, you know, I spent so much money making units from just 2 gates, which kind of sounds like a luxury problem, but it does mean that the next couple gates are a little bit too late. I think the best way to do this is actually to hit a perfect timing. This is going to take some time to figure this out when it comes to the builds for sure. So what I'm thinking is the best time to make a warp gate is as soon as your unit from the gateway finishes, so you can warp in right away, right? That makes sense. So I think what you want to do is maybe instead of going up to extra gates, you get more income early, and then, because you made so many units from 2 gates, you go up to like 4 instead of 6, and you time it perfectly. And I feel like that would have been the way. Like here, this was a little bit awkward, because here I wasn't able to make units for a while, right? This robot was a mistake, by the way, but I was mostly afraid of DTs. I thought it was going to be something dumb. This was... I wouldn't call this dumb. This is actually pretty normal in Immortal Glaives all in. But I was thinking, okay, I feel like I'm doing so well. I have the map control, didn't lose stuff to the Phoenixes. I don't want to die to something dumb, so I made a Robo. But in hindsight, it was probably a mistake. I should have just scouted with the Sentry. I don't know why I didn't. I should have scouted with the Sentry, reactively made a Robo. Otherwise, I could have made the gates first. But this is actually the awkward timing. So what I'm thinking now is that maybe you just produce from like 2, 3, 4 gateways. So on 2 bases, it would be just 2. On 3 bases, it would be 4. And then If you don't get attacked, you have the time. If you do get attacked, you might actually have to wait for after the attack, and then you make them into warp gates. It's going to be very interesting to figure this out. The early game felt pretty good against both Terran and Protoss, I would say. I know we didn't play a PvT, but it feels like it would be nice. But the transition is going to be awkward, and that's where the problem might be against Terran. So let's keep that in mind, okay? So what we're going to pay attention to is, first of all, can Protoss hold the attacks by Terran in the first 830? And then also just the power of Zerg. That's what I'm going to pay attention to. Zerg felt great, by the way. The new creep spread is nice. I had so much money. I really like the idea of playing with just gateways as well. Terran didn't have that much of a change, but there's still some toys we get to play with, right? Like testing some new things with the new Ghost, some new Reaper cheeses. But that's going to be it for today. So let me know what you guys think. Did Blizzard make a big mistake by just YOLO releasing this patch? Or are you guys happy with it? Very curious to know about your thoughts. And that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys had a fantastic time with me. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.